What's going on, fellas? Welcome back to another video. A beautiful day we are having. I'm not exactly sure where I'm at right now, but if I threw a rock hard enough, I would hit a John Deere tractor for sure. We drove a couple 100 miles west, I believe, to come by this work truck. There's nothing special about it. Please join me for one of the weirdest financial decisions I've probably ever made. This used to be my bread and butter back in the day, selling work trucks before selling boats took off a little more. There is nothing special about this truck at all, to be completely honest. Last night I was sitting on the couch watching YouTube videos of other people going out and buying work trucks for cheap, bringing them home, fixing them up, and I was just sitting there thinking, why not me? So had to come out of retirement, pull out the old Facebook Marketplace, start cruising. This was the best deal that I found in probably a 300 or 400 mile radius. And I just sent the message, what's the address? I have cash today. I'm going to walk around this truck for you, but just keep in mind, there's absolutely nothing special about this truck at all. It's one of the reasons that this is a weird financial decision, but I was just really fired up, motivated to go grab a truck and get to turning some wrenches. 2014 Ram 1500. This is the V6, the 3.6. It's just a straight up fleet work truck type of truck. This engine gets a lot of hate, but to be honest, I want to say 2 years ago, summertime, I had this exact truck. I do a lot of truck stuff, but I also do a lot of daily driving in my truck, so it's a good truck for me personally. But 2 summers ago, I had one of these trucks, and I drove it down to Stewart, pulling a backcountry 201 Pro Guide. Went all the way from Jacksonville to Stewart on half a tank of gas. This thing has eco mode, it runs on E85. It's a good truck. I mean, I don't have any beef with it. I'm sure a lot of people do, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go through the truck. I'm gonna tell you what's good about it, what's bad about it, and then how much I paid for it after I show you everything. And then we're gonna try and fix this bad boy. It's almost a 10-year-old truck, so it's gonna have its dings and dents. We got a couple of dents on this pillar up here. Nothing crazy, no deal breaker dents, if that makes sense. Now, this tailgate is pretty rough. Nice, rusty, beat up tailgate. The bumper's in the same state, but that's no big deal. There's no rust underneath at all. This was a pull service and repair fleet truck, so there's a lot of chemicals leaning over this tailgate, and it just corroded it over time. Chemicals ending up in the bed, and then it would rain, and then it would just kind of pour out over here, and it just ate away at this bumper and this tailgate. But the rest of the truck is all good. Over here we have probably the biggest dent. You can kind of see it at certain angles. Again, it's not a deal breaker dent. The truck still looks really good, in my opinion. It has that nice step side. The wheels are in good shape. The tires are fantastic. New rubber all the way around. That's one of the reasons why I go searching for fleet vehicles, is because they're maintained really well. All the services are up to date, and they usually come with fresh rubber, so save a little bit of money in there somehow. Now, I'm only gonna say nice things about the guy that sold me this truck. It's Facebook Marketplace at the end of the day. All right, I'm not expecting everything to be perfect, whatever. I'm not gonna say anything crazy, whatever. He was a nice guy. Yep, he was a nice guy when we were hanging out talking about the truck. Did he tell me about the underlying issue? No. We went on a test drive though. This is all my responsibility. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the truck, I'm doing my tests, I'm checking the oil, I'm underneath it looking for leaks and whatever. I go on the test drive, I put it through its paces. This is all on me. It'd be nice if everything was disclosed, but it is what it is. I'm only gonna say nice things. He was a nice guy. Did he tell me? No, but it's okay. It's okay. Maybe, you know what? Maybe he didn't know. Maybe he didn't know. Try and crawl underneath just a little bit, show you what's going on. If you can see, I don't know if you can see very well or not. Everything looks pretty good under here. Over there, could probably use a new oil pan gasket. Brother, this 3.6 V6, that's the smallest oil pan I've ever seen. Let me see if I can get closer to it. Clearly in an AutoZone parking lot right now, so that should tell you the state of this truck. But let's just have a little cute discussion about this cute little oil pan. Dude, the smallest oil pan of all time. It's probably a oil leak from higher up, who knows, but we'll figure that out at some point. Everything else under here looks pretty good. People from up north are probably gawking at the underside of this truck. Zero rust on the frame. You could probably turn every single one of these bolts with just a socket wrench. No torches or impacts needed, so that's a plus. Like I said, the truck is in really good condition. Let me pop the hood. Underneath the hood, here lies our 3.6 liter VVT. They put these things in the little base model Dodge Chargers. These engines aren't super strong, but I mean, they're nice. Like if you're just pulling around skiffs and daily driving a truck, this is a pretty good truck to have. I had one for years. I usually just grab one, tint the windows to the 9s, 5% all the way around, put some new wheels on it. It ends up looking like a pretty sweet truck, and you have eco mode. So if you're a dude like me, daily driving, picking up a skiff, little trailer here and there, not towing anything crazy. I think the biggest thing that I towed with one of these trucks was a Pathfinder 2200. I felt it back there, let me tell you. I felt her, but it still made it, you know. You have to take a trip every once in a while with this old V6. It'll get you there, but don't make it a daily thing. Let's see. No crazy smells under here. Nothing really jumping out at me. The old cover zip tied. That's something to talk about. Oil looked good. Everything looked pretty good. I'll tell you what, these wires look relatively new. I didn't notice that until just now. Those wires look brand new, actually, and that plays into the issue potentially. So that's kind of aggravating as well, now that I see that. It's just a work truck, but I'll show you inside. Squeaky doors to be expected. It's the work truck, but I mean, we got the leather seats. Interior is pretty nice. I like this particular interior for the lifestyle that I live. You know, sandy feet all the time. You have the rubber floors. Just spray them off, no big deal. Back seat, about the same. It's just a work truck, man. There's nothing crazy going on. But let me tell you about the deal. So I pull up, like I said, this was about 2.5 hours west of where we live in Jacksonville. And we pull up, he's sitting in his truck. He says that they just upgraded their fleet. This was one of the first red flags because he said he had 2 other fleet vehicles and they sold first. And this is just kind of like the last straggler, the little runt of the group. That was the first red flag, because why has it not sold yet? If somebody came and bought the other 2, you know what I'm saying? Anywho, whatever. I do my diagnosis, I scan for codes, live data, everything looks pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. AC is nice and cold, not a tick in sight. We drive around, everything is all good. I went on a test drive for maybe 10 minutes, you know, a couple miles back. Test drive was all right. Get back to the parking lot, I'm looking around, I'm noticing a couple more things, you know, a dent here, a dent there, whatever. But I'm a serious buyer, so I told him, I was like, what's it gonna take today? I'll just be transparent now. He had it listed for $5,800, which is a good deal for a newer body style truck these days. $5,800, I'm in. It only has 168,000 miles. So I'm in. You know, worst case scenario, I just keep the truck as a daily driver for myself. And then tuck away the old Hemi back at home for if I need to tow something a little bit bigger. No big deal, whatever. $5,800 he has it listed at. After the drive and everything, I was pretty stoked on it. It drove great, smooth, everything that I particularly want in a vehicle. And I say, what's the best you can do on it? And he said, man, I can do 5,500. And I'm like, even in my mind, that's still a pretty good deal. I had the 58 with me, so save 300 bucks. That's a good deal. Regardless, I was like, you know what? That oil leak underneath, I'm gonna have to address that. I'm gonna have to get a new tailgate. I'm really taking a chance that these stickers, the lettering on the sides, is gonna come off without a fight. Taking a chance there, man. I'll be really happy if you could do 5,000 bucks. Honestly, I wanted to offer 45, but he was such a cool guy that I was like, let's just shake on 5. I'll probably throw 5 out there. He'll take it. He was walking around, kicking his feet, thinking about it, whatever. And then he came back and he was like, okay, I'll do 5. Keep in mind, a really, really cool guy. Nice stand-up guy, business owner from the back of the truck, veteran owned and operated. So homie's a vet, I believe. So I mean, he was a really cool guy. He kept saying over and over again, you know, I'm not sure my guys drive this truck, so whatever. He said he upgraded to new Ford Mavericks. So it was kind of like he was in the truck for the first time also. That's why I'm not really, you know, gonna talk much about if he knew about this issue or not. I'm just going to assume that he didn't. You know, I got heart problems. I don't need my blood pressure to rise too high. So let's just assume he didn't know. All right, you know, it happens to the best of us. He didn't know. All right, let's just go with that. Let's just go with that for now. He says yes to the 5. He gets the title out. We do the title work. I hand him 5 cash, $5,000. And I hop in the truck. My wife hops in the driver's seat of her vehicle, and we scoot out of there. Oh, also, he was telling me before I left that if I ran into any problems, whatever, send him a text or call him or, you know, hit him up on Marketplace, whatever. And I actually told him, man, I'm not one of those guys. I know how it is on Marketplace, which this is true. I said, even if I get halfway down the road and this thing blows up, it's on me. So you won't be hearing from me. I appreciate it. You're a good guy, cool dude. Shook hands, and I was out of there. Brother, if I didn't get half a mile down the street before this thing started to overheat, beeping at me, the coolant temperature was just pinned all the way to the max, red-lined. Coolant was so hot. And I was just in a turn lane, and I was like, well, sweetheart, looks like we're going to Zaxby's, because that's where we were at the time. This was further down the road, way more countryside, rural. I think it was called Bellevue area near Ocala. I was like, looks like we're going to Zaxby's for lunch. This thing's overheating. Just all absolutely pinned to the red. When I hit the U-turn though and started driving into Zaxby's, it started to cool down. So I was like, oh man, this is either a fan issue or a thermostat issue. And that's why I said, looking at this now, it looks like there's a new fan in here. Honestly, it looks like a brand new fan. Who knows? But I mean, that rules that out. I popped the hood, I looked, the fan was running. So I was like, oh man, I'm probably gonna have to swap a thermostat out on the side of the street. Which is interesting because these thermostats are pretty easy to replace. I'm surprised. If I get in there and it's not a new thermostat, I will be surprised. These are relatively easy. A little more annoying right now because I'm in my wife's car and all my tools and everything are in my truck. So I had to stop and buy tools. I stopped at an AutoZone near where we were and I got a thermostat and some coolant, whatever. But I thought I'll probably run into a Harbor Freight or a Walmart at some point and I can buy tools there. I don't want to have to buy these expensive AutoZone tools. Not a chance. Not a chance. I don't even know how far we just drove before we landed at this random AutoZone. Where we're at right now kind of looks like a little bit of a city. There's a hotel and a Dunkin' Donuts. Definitely probably have to throw a rock a little bit harder to hit a tractor over here. But this is the first place that we stopped. Miles and miles down the road, the first place that sold any type of tool. So we stopped here. There was some nice shade in the back parking lot. I figure not a bad spot to let the old girl cool down for a little bit. Go inside, get the expensive AutoZone tools, like the expensive trash tools is what I mean. Like these honestly are probably like one use tools. I got a little socket set, some pliers, whatever, thermostat and coolant. We'll see what we can do. The thermostat was only 17 bucks. That's why I'm saying if you went as far as getting a new fan up here, which it looks brand new, but who knows? Who knows? Again, who knows? But when you're looking at everything under the hood, this looks like we had a little blow of some sort. Same going on over here. Maybe a little coolant spout somewhere. But all of that looks dirty. And then this big old fan up here, these wires look brand new. The fan just looks brand new. A little bit of a bummer that I didn't notice that earlier, but obviously the truck wasn't overheating when I was in the parking lot. It wasn't something I thought I had to think about. Even this particular truck has trans temp, coolant temp, all these gauges on the front. So I looked at everything. Everything was where you'd want it to be. So my mind is either telling me that it's not actually overheating and it's just some type of coolant sensor that's going bad, or it's a thermostat. So the thermostat is kind of tucked back here. I'll have to move some things out of the way, but it's really not a terribly hard job to do. I judge jobs on how long the video is on YouTube, and I typed in on YouTube 2014 Ram 1500 V6 3.6 thermostat change, and it was like a 4-minute video. So I was like, yes. But we'll see, man. For some reason, coolant is not circulating properly. We got all the way up to about 249, 250. It dinged at me, letting me know that it was overheating. And then I would drive a little bit and it would cool down. I had it just sitting here idling in the AutoZone parking lot, and at idle, it wasn't overheating at all. The reason that I thought it was maybe just a sensor or something is because the AC never warmed up. It was cold AC the whole time, even when it was saying it was overheating. So, I mean, who knows? But this might be cooled off enough. Yeah, it might be cooled off enough that I can start yanking this thermostat out and, you know, go from there. So, I'm going to do that. It's probably going to be tough to film because my wife is feeding my cranky baby. She's cranky today. Our 6-month-old is cranky. I don't know. These car naps she's been taking on our little road trips to go buy Facebook Marketplace stuff. It's not the best. This life ain't cut out for an infant. But my wife's feeding our baby. She's just a ball of joy, dude. She's just a ball of joy, just a precious little healthy baby. I'm only poking fun at her crankiness right now, but she's feeding her. I'm gonna get out my tools and get to work. This is the Duralast thermostat. There's a housing in there as well. This is the coolant that we have. These are the tools. Little 25. Oh, read it upside down. Little 52 piece set, some pliers, a little screwdriver that has a flathead Phillips head. I think it even has a star. I don't know. But all this came out to $28.99. Honestly, not as bad as I thought. But like I said, this is all gonna be pretty much one use stuff. It's like fast fashion, but for tools, like fast tools, super mass-produced, cheap stuff. We'll see. I mean, maybe it'll be good. I don't know. I'm not even joking. The very first bolt I was taking out already broke. Basically, this was the 1/2 inch ratchet, And there is a 3/8 drive in here, but the only socket that worked for that first bolt was connected to the 1/2-inch ratchet. So instead of going and buying a whole new set or a more expensive ratchet, whatever, I just got the same exact socket but in a 3/8 drive. So hopefully, man, hopefully this one doesn't break. This is rough. Okay, I got everything out of the way for the thermostat right here. I will vouch to say that this hose clamp maybe is not factory. So, but also this thermostat, at least the housing doesn't look new. So that's fantastic. I'm just gonna yank the housing off. But yeah, you see how the actual factory clamp is just kind of to the left, and then there's this other hose clamp right there. That doesn't make me feel good. Maybe somebody got in here and did some work here recently. Then my blood pressure will probably start to raise a little bit. If it's just a thermostat, brother, put a new thermi in there and we're all good to go back home, I'll be all right. But if the fan is replaced, the thermostat's replaced, I don't know, I might start looking at fuses, switches, whatever. But regardless, I'll be bummed because that means they're handing it over to me after putting money into trying to fix it and they couldn't fix it. We're gonna fix it one way or the other. This truck's making it back to the shop and we're gonna fix it. But it would just bum me out because it's like you have extensive knowledge of what's going on. We'll see. I'm gonna crack at it for a little while, see what we can do. This is the weirdest setup of all time. To use a 10 mil, I have to put a adapter on the 3/8 drive. They don't even, this is the weirdest socket set, man. It doesn't look brand new. I guess it doesn't look old either. It looks pretty new, I'm not gonna lie. This is so randomly back here. Is it a coincidence that just a random O-ring, the same exact size, is back here? Who knows, maybe it was just faulty. This is the new one. Looks about the same as far as, I don't know, how new it looks. It doesn't look brand new. It is brand new, but it doesn't look like it. Okay, thermostat job is complete. Got everything buttoned back up. Right now, she is on. She's idling. Idles beautifully. Just a smooth running engine. Currently, just pinned right in the middle. So far, so good. But like I said, this is how it was in the parking lot when I was buying the truck. But that's one of the reasons why I'm not too worried about whatever the issue is. It's because the idle's fine right here. Now, I'm gonna hop in the truck. We're gonna start driving down the road. I'm gonna give it all I got to see if we can see if we fixed it or not, basically. If it's not fixed, then I think I'm gonna get into a coolant temperature sensor type of deal, maybe. I don't know. The fan looks brand new. The thermostat is now new. The coolant is now topped off. It only took about half of my jug. I might get down the road a little bit more, see if it drank a lot, and then see if it'll take the other half of the jug. I don't know. It could be airlocked. we'll see once we get down the road, but I'm about to hop in and go from there. This AutoZone in random Bellevue next to the Popeyes. When I went in to get the new socket, I told them at the front desk, I was like, man, this broke on the very first socket. And the lady in there said, that sucks. I mean, yeah, it does suck. But come on, man, you ain't gonna help me out? You're not gonna help me just a little bit? I guess I'll spend $8.99 on this single 16 mil socket. It does suck, man. Did not appreciate that. Here we go. It's $199 right now. I'm keeping an eye on it. We'll see what happens. What do you think? You think we fixed it for $17.99? It's running fantastic. Idling perfect. This AC is ice cold. Nice and clean in here. Smells good. We're gonna give it some gas after this red light. See where it goes. Just made it through the red light. That red light was really long actually, and it actually just went down to 197. So I don't know, everything on the gauge is looking good. Now it seems about average. It went to 203, back to 201. It's doing good so far. I'd be stoked if we fix this thing for $17.99. Then I won't even message the guy. I mean, I'm not gonna message the guy anyway, but if we fixed it with just a thermostat in the parking lot of AutoZone, then all is well. I'm cool with 203. I'm cool with anything up to like 215, 220. I'm cool with that. And it's just chilling between 197 and 203 right now. We're about a mile and a half down the road. I'm still keeping an eye on it. Also, considering how hot it was today, the first time we were sitting in the Zaxby's parking lot, the first time I tried to film the intro to this video, and I was filming the video and my phone overheated and stopped filming halfway through, I guess. And yep, so I lost that. That's why I had to redo it in the AutoZone parking lot. So onward and upward, but that's how hot it was today. This is the highest it's gotten. Well, it's 212 right now. A second ago it was 215. But I looked it up and it says it's acceptable 195 but to 225. So I mean, we're right in there. We're right where we need to be. Before we get on a really long stretch where there's no auto parts store in sight, I'm gonna pull over one more time and try and fill the rest of this coolant system with the rest of the coolant that I have in that jug. But I mean, right now she's going back down to 208. Brother, I think we figured it out. 206. Happy guy right now. Happy guy. 204. 203. It seems as if our coolant system is working. I would leave the parking lot and it would straight up just red line all the way 250 plus right when I would leave the parking lot previously. So we're miles and miles down the road right now, and it's at 199 right now. I'm stoked. I mean, so far I'd call it a success. It's crazy. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to say anything bad about the guy. He was a nice guy. Nice fellow business owner. Veteran. But homie had to know, right? He had to know. I mean, it would ding in your face and it would say that your car's overheating. I don't know. Well, fellas, we are miles and miles and miles down the road and she's running great. Coolant is exactly where we want it to be. I think we did it for $17.99. 5,000 in the truck, $17.99 and a new thermostat, and we have a nice running, relatively low mile for the year Ram 1500. I just need to get home, heat gun these stickers off, and do a little snazzing it up. Maybe new wheels if we want to make it look sweet. Tint the windows. We're gonna set sail back to Jacksonville though. If you're curious if this thing makes it home, which fingers crossed, I believe it will, because now she's running great. Let me take a peek. Pinned right in the middle. Coolant is perfect. Man, this thing runs really smooth. For $17.99. I'm a happy guy. My blood pressure raised just a little bit whenever we turned into Zaxby's. I'm not gonna lie to you, just a little bit. But turned some wrenches, did a little Facebook Marketplace shenanigans. Like I said, this was a weird financial decision, but at the end of the day, we're either going to daily this truck for a while, or I think we got a little meat on the bone, make a buck or two at the end of the day. But yeah, appreciate you for tuning in, and I guess I'll see you back at Skiffland tomorrow. Love you guys. See you in the next one. Peace. Just taking a second to appreciate my wife just hanging out in the parking lot. You know, she could have driven home hours ago, but she hung out with me through it all. That's a ride or die right there. Ride or die. Ate some nice Zaxby's with the old lady. Had a nice road trip, at least on the way there. As soon as I stop filming right now, I'm going to call her. We usually talk like on the way home from stuff like this. We have gone and purchased so many vehicles in our day doing this Facebook Marketplace dance, and we have this thing down to a science pretty much. We drive there together, have a good time, listen to podcasts together, and then whenever we buy the vehicle and are driving back, we literally talk on the phone the whole time. It's wonderful. But yeah, she didn't leave my side the whole time. That's a blessing right there. That's a wifey right there, all right? When you're looking for your wife, look for that. Look for that, all right? I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow, I guess. Every day. I'm here every day, about the same time, every day. Bye-bye.